Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I'm going to create a car for a race. It is the Chaos Canyon. I will give you a link down below to this channel. It is a very interesting race. At the middle of the racing course there is a jump, and as you see, most of the cars can't handle it. So since I'm not an expert in creating fast cars, I can maybe create something that will handle this jump better than the other cars, so I will get some advantage. I thought about these two since I like old muscle cars, and this one will be easy for me to modify with suspension since the wheels are already positioned in the right place for me. At the other end, I really like this Nova, and for this car I will have to make some other arrangement in order to make sure that the wheels will not rub against the fenders. So I have to narrow the axles a little bit in order to achieve this ability of wheel travel. So the Nova it is. I have to take the base off and create this modification, and a very important part in creating this ability of wheel movement is to take off these plastic parts here. Originally they were made in order to prevent wheel or axle bending in case of someone will press on the car like a small child. So I don't need them because they will prevent the wheel movement. I want to achieve the largest amount of wheel travel, therefore I will have to grind quite a bit from this base. As you saw in the video, the cars are flying through the air and they are diving with their nose first. Therefore, the rear wheels will have to soak the energy of the blow. This will keep the car with better stability, I guess. Now I'm going to have to narrow the base a little bit, and it is by taking some material from each side of the wheels. So the wheels will travel inside the fenders and not as originally against the fenders. It is going to be the first time that I will try to compete in an actual race. And I also couldn't refuse the kind invite of this channel owner, and I thought to myself that it will be very nice to see how my car will perform at this special race with this large gap at the middle. I always get questions at the comments about what part of the measuring tape am I using for the suspension part. Well, I hope this video will unveil the mystery. you can see I'm using the measuring tape itself and not other parts. So I'm just taking off the um, paint in order to make this part cleaner, and I think that the axle will spin faster if this part will not have any paint on it. Now I have to make some measurements and see how much do I need to take off this spring. As you see right now, it is a little bit too wide for this base and a little bit too long. At the end of this video, I'm going to make some testings and see how my cars are performing in comparison with other cars that don't have suspension modifications. So I'm going to build a very simple ramp and landing, and then I will try to see how my car will perform. I will try to do my best and create something that is similar to the ramp on the Chaos Canyon. I'm creating this tiny lip here at the end of this spring because I saw that this sharp edge is catching against this base. So I'm trying to prevent that from happening. Whenever I'm creating suspension mods for a car, none of my builds is similar to another. In this case, you can see that the base have a very interesting shape, and I'm trying to make sure that nothing will happen while this car will be tossed around the racing course. I want to create something that will not break or loose inside. And here's something nice I've came up with this build. I wanted to change the linear activity of the spring and make sure that the spring will be harder through its travel. So now this spring will build up its resistance through its travel. It will be soft with the small bumps, and for the hard landings it will be a little bit firmer. Now it is time to repaint this car. I don't want to leave it with its original paint. I thought about adding my rust effects and all the other stuff I'm used to. This brown color will be the base coat, and now I'm going to paint this car with some acrylic paints and add some racing decals. I'm going to remove the chrome finish from the wheels. I will also add some rust effects on the bumpers. Now I'm going to paint the body in final coat of gray, and then I will put this body inside a jar. I will shake this jar, and then I will take out the body and see what will happen. The paint will be removed from random areas of the body, and it will be the first layer of paint of this car. Now it is time to add the acrylic color. I'm starting to paint the entire body in light blue, and then I will add more rust effects. The idea behind this process of adding more and more coats of paint is to achieve a very thick layer of paint. Therefore, I did not remove the original paint of this body. Instead, I'm just building more and more over the original coat of paint. That is because I don't want this car to be chipped very easily while it is racing. So, there are going to be about 5 coats of paint for this car. The first one is the original paint scheme, the second one is brown nail polish, the third one is brown rattle can paint, the fourth is acrylic paint and another coat of metallic blue nail polish on the hood and also on the rear right fender. And the final one is clear coat. It is a matte clear coat and it will protect the decals from coming off this body. Now it is time to show you the car after I finished adding all these tiny details. And here it is, ready for some racing action. Now it is time to test the car. You can see the suspension is working very nice. I have another one which I've been using for some time now, and it is this red Chevy Nova, which I don't mind using again because it is already chipped. This Plymouth Barracuda belongs to my son and it is completely stock, and I want to make a comparison between a suspension modified car and a regular one. So what you're going to see right now are two Chevy Novas with suspension competing against other cars without suspension, which were completely stock cars. There were two shots with regular speed just to show you how fast they are, and most of them are in slow motion. I've tried to build this ramp in few ways. One of them was a very big jump like this one, and there were some cars that surprisingly were very good at this, although they were completely stock cars. Now take a look at this Chevy Nova. If it didn't have my suspension, it was surely meant to be flipped over. And now for a comparison, here is another shot of this Plymouth Barracuda. It has no suspension, and immediately after hitting the first hit, it flips over. There were a few jumps that this car was successful, but not too many. Again, here is my Chevy Nova. It is jumping and landing perfectly. Now here is another car. It has a plastic body and metal base, and it is completely stock car. And here is again a bad landing of my suspension Chevy Nova. And here's the real speed of this car. I will now leave you with some nice footage of cars jumping. You can notice which one of them has suspension and which are not. Now let me show you the most favorite jump of all, and surprisingly it was of my son's Plymouth Barracuda. And here it is in 3, 2, 1. Wow. And again, here is my son's stock Plymouth Barracuda with this rare landing. Amazing. Well, although my apartment is too small for this kind of stuff, I've managed to build something to test my cars, and I think they were completely okay with this kind of jumping action. Right before packing this car and sending it away to the guys from Chaos Canyon in New Zealand, I've talked with my daughter and we've decided that I should make a car for her too, and maybe she will compete in this racing as well. I've decided to go with this fake Hot Wheels because it is very easy for me to work on this car. It has already screws at this base instead of rivets, and I wanted to pull this one very quickly. So, in few hours I've managed to make another car just for her. Again, it was the same process of adding suspension for this base, and on this car it was even quicker because this car has very thin walls on its body, so I didn't have to grind anything. Here it is, you can see it has some nice working suspension, and my daughter asked for this paint scheme. I'm very excited for my daughter to be participating in this racing, and she is very excited too. I want to say thank you for watching this video today, and I will see you soon on my next video. Please take care of yourself, and bye bye.